What's going on YouTube? Pistol Pete here. Today we're going to be talking about the Work Tuff V44X Raider buoy or Reaper buoy, however you want to say it. So this one is a pretty popular in-demand buoy. It's every time they post it or they advertise selling it, it sells out like that. I mean, usually within, if not within minutes, within days. You know, a day, actually maybe in a day. I think the last time they posted this, the very first run, it was seconds. The very first time people were complaining because they released it in the very first run, and that was in the SK85 steel version, and they sold out literally in seconds. I missed it. I tried to get one and it's all sold out. I was like, no way, it can't be sold out. I just barely went on the site and sold out seconds. So the second run, I think they did more than the first one, and that sold out in minutes. It sold out like in, I think it was like the first 20 minutes, 15 minutes. So it lasted a little bit longer. And then they also did a few drops to DLT and Knife Center. And those ones lasted a little bit longer. I know Knife Centers, it was like 2 or 3 days. DLT, I think it was like 2 days it lasted. So it did last a little bit longer on those platforms. I know the very last drop was just like a week or two ago at the end of September. And I think it was on DLT trading. And then that's where I picked up another one. I keep picking up because I love the look of the buoy. I mean, it's just so freaking sick. It's right up my alley. I love clip points. I love fat belly bladed buoys. I just love the way it freaking looks. It's just so badass. Reese is the designer of this from Well Regulated. He has a YouTube channel. You go check him out. He does hard use reviews. He chopped with this. He stabbed it through doors. I think even what's his name, Joe X, did a destruction test on it. It did pretty well. So I mean, it's a bitchin' buoy. But just the look alone of it. The look alone just is aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and obviously it's a good quality, made by Work Tuff, so it's awesome quality. So you know the quality's there, but now you got that aesthetically just awesome design. And like I said, Reese knocked it out of the park with the looks of it. So let's get into it, and I'll show you which ones I got. So like I said, I got a little bit infatuated with this blade because I love it so much, and because of the mystique of it being always unavailable. So I wanted to get a couple variants of it. So the first one I got was look at this freaking thing. Look how freaking beautiful that is. Sorry, I had to stop for a minute and admire it. The first one I got was this one's the Wilderness Camo. And this one was again on the second run because I wasn't able to pick up the SK85. This one's in the Bowler K329, and you could argue it's a little better still than the SK85. But just look at this thing, man. I love it. It has an alligator called alligator texturing. So that texturing is just freaking badass, man. Look at this thing. Big V44 on this side, Work Tuff logo on this side. Just freaking beautiful. I mean, then a two-tone satin finish with a polished edge. This thing is this shit not just beautiful? Is it not just like one of the best looking buoys you've seen? I love it. I mean, like I said, knocked it out of the park. So I also ended up getting, I thought it'd be a big difference, and it wasn't a big difference. I still love it. I still don't regret. I still don't regret getting it. But the handle skills, I got the Jungle Camo, which I thought was going to be a different style handle, but it's very similar actually. Take a look. So here are the two. This is the Jungle Camo now. Same thing, alligator texturing, but just supposedly different color pattern. But to me, it's very similar. Very, very, very similar. The only difference to me is it looks like this has a little bit of a darker, like OD green, and this is more of a lighter or like a brown, I don't know, like a tan more mixture in it. But other than that, I mean, they're both sick. I love the look at that. They killed it with those handle skills. It's just nuts the way they do that. But they're very, very similar. And obviously, same steel, same size blade, and you got to have two. Like Reese says, you got to have more than one, right? This is one of the buoys you want to two-hand it. Just go crazy with it, man. This thing is just awesome. You know, it's light enough because these are 3/16 thick. You know, they're not super thick. They're fairly thin, but they have that huge fat belly, so they're light and nimble, surprisingly nimble in the hand. They don't feel like you're holding a brick. Doesn't feel like you're holding a big heavy knife. It feels like you're holding a nimble little knife, fast, and you got that big belly, so you still got great chopping. These things are awesome, man. Just freaking awesome. The look of these things and the fat, generous choil that Reese designed in them, just beautiful. A nice little swell, not too aggressive, so it's not going to beat up your pinky. Just perfect enough to hold your hand in place if you're going to go back with it and do some heavy chopping. But just badass. So, and then the last one I got, because I had to switch it up, and I actually do like it. I was a little bit I was a little bit on the fence with this one because I was like, I'm not really a fan of. I'm a sucker for satin. I love satin polished finishes. I just love satin and polished style finishes. It's just me, right? And then I get the purposes of having like a black coated knife or having a stonewash finish, or I get it. I get the purposes of that. And then there is how can I say, there's a purpose for it. There's, for black coated knives, you don't show reflection. It also protects from rust and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I know all the reasons, but I had to get this one. This one is a ghost finish, and I was a little bit hesitant because I was like, I don't know if I like the ghost finish. I got ghost finish knives and other manufacturers, and I didn't care for it. This one, I actually freaking love it. It looks freaking badass. Look at this thing. So this is the ghost finish, right? And it just looks crazy. You know what it reminds me of? I guess it's the nerd in me. It reminds me of RoboCop's suit. How it does, like, I guess RoboCop suit's in a goat finish because it looks just like that, the material in the suit. Just looks sick. And then these handles, these OD green handles with the orange liners, that's just badass too. I love it. It's like a dark green, the texture on this is awesome too. And it does surprisingly feel different in hand than this one. It does. It feels a little lighter and a little more sleeker. And I think it is because look, the handles are thinner. I didn't know that, but the handles are thinner on this one here on the OD green compared to the alligator texturing. It's a little, I mean, not by much, but if you hold it in hand, you'll definitely feel the difference. This one is a little bit thinner, and this one's a little bit thicker, but this one has more texturing, so it feels more tackier in hand. Both just freaking anyone you get, it's gonna be just badass. But I'm glad I picked this one up. I was hesitant to get this one. I'm glad I got it. It's badass. I think I will make this one my user, to tell you the truth, because I think this one will hide scratches a little more. We'll see, I don't know. I've heard a few mixed reviews on that. Some people say, oh yeah, it hides scratches way better than polish finish or satin finish, but then I heard other people say, no, this one looks worse when you use it because of that, but we'll see. And if it's a user, it's a user. Who gives a shit, right? If you're gonna make a user, you're gonna make it a user. If it gets scratched, it gets scratched, whatever. But I had to get a couple for collecting. And me personally, this is what I do. If it's a knife I really like, and I'm like, oh man, I fall in love with that knife, the look of it, the design, the metal, the quality, I usually, as long as it's in production, I'll get two of them. One for use, one for collecting, because that's just how I am. I'm neurotic that way. I hate if it's something I really like and I end up going and putting like a big scratch in, I'm like, even though it's my user, but if I have an extra one that I know is pristine and brand new, it's like, okay, it's cool. Let's keep using it. Let's keep banging on it. So that's why I get two of the ones, and not every knife, because obviously I can't afford to do that, but the ones I'm really into. There's only a few out there. I'm gonna do a video, matter of fact. I'll do a video on the knives I love so much, I buy more than one. I'll buy two or three. If it's a budget one, I'll buy three. If it's something like this, which is gonna cost you something, I usually buy two. If I really like the knife, if it's freaking amazing. And then and a lot of these are like this, for me, is freaking amazing. I mean, it's just amazing. Look how beautiful, man. Look how freaking beautiful. I love that dramatic clip and that fat belly on these things. They're just beautiful, man. Just awesome knives. When you hold it in hand, that's why I fell in love with it too. When you put it in your hand and actually hold it, it feels great. It feels freaking great in hand, man. It's just an awesome Bowie. Something you can really take out and go hiking, go walking around with, camping. I mean, it's not something you would want to strap on your side going into a grocery store or walking around in like a metropolitan area, because you probably will get arrested. Even in California, it's legal. I can carry this as long as it's showing, as long as it's not hidden. I can carry it on my hip. But the catch is, the caveat, because I talked to a few police officers, you're still going to get hassled. You're still going to get hassled. You still get people maybe calling the cops on you. You still get people, scared that you have this on you. So they're going to wonder why. Why do you have this inside of a grocery store? Why do you have this in a mall? Why are you carrying it? So you're going to get hassled. They'll let you go, and they'll just give you a little, hey, you shouldn't carry that here type of thing. But you won't get arrested. But do you want to get hassled everywhere you go? I don't. So I wouldn't carry this somewhere like that. But you can, but I wouldn't. This is more for like camping, hiking. This makes more sense to have this up in the woods. And, for a bear or a cougar, come on, dude, bring it on, dude. Because I have a feeling I'll chop your damn head off before you bite me with this thing. I mean, this thing is just so nimble and so fast. It's awesome. It's awesome knife. All right, guys. Please like, subscribe, share. And until next knife gun or whatever.